welcome back to the now legal Settling the Southlands. It's episode 18.
Why are we now legal?
Because it's 18.
Episode 18.
I know, I was like, what are you talking about?
Just said that.
I don't think anything that we're doing is particularly legal, but you can say that, Dan.
I mean, what your characters are doing isn't really illegal either.
It's not like we have an unlicensed wizard or anything, so.
Right, yeah, we're pretty much in a best case scenario.
Totally.
I mean, the party's not in a best case scenario after those stranger vines.
Look.
Stranger.
Too many walls.
Stranger.
Walls and vines.
Danger.
I did not think that the literal flora would attack me.
I told you the environment is going to be what harms you guys a lot.
We didn't believe you.
I know. So
We didn't believe you at all.
I had to
thought it
roll
was like
that
a big
randomly and
switch.
teach you a lesson by rolling vines randomly.
You showed us.
You sure showed us.
Job.
I'll
Job.
never doubt you again.
Definitely gonna.
I don't believe that.
You shouldn't.
She's doubting you right now. Look at her.
Yeah, but just before we started recording, Alex said he looked at his character sheet and was a little surprised to see he was at, 4 wounds?
Yeah, I mean, like, we already went over it once, so I don't know why we're talking about it again.
And Bethen's at what?
1.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Gerty still has one strong dwarf leg, right?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
And I think Lillian actually finished off the vines with their stick after she used it, just move them out of the way and walk through. It's another
Yeah.
one of those instances where the first person that went through kind of alerted it to its surroundings, and the second person really triggered it. So Lillian keeps being lucky going first.
You know, I'm still at full health, and so is my dog. We all good. It's all
There you
good.
go.
Vicious just barked at it the whole time.
Yeah, it was a little too short.
Vicious is the smartest party member. Let's just get that straight.
Luckiest, that's for sure. So I've recently been watching Cowboy Bebop. Jess loaned me her DVDs of it. I think
You need to be educated.
Yeah, I don't have much history with watching anime. And I've tried a couple of them, just never really got into it. But I've heard Cowboy Bebop's like the best. Period.
Yes.
And I think I just watched episode 12, so I'm almost halfway.
What happened in it?
Well, I just realized, did you name Vicious after Vicious from Cowboy Bebop?
No, but yes. No, but yes.
Okay.
It is a fabulous parallel, but it wasn't intentional. I admit it.
Happy accident.
Yes.
Cool.
I mean, all the Bebop names are just stuck in my head as classic no matter what I do. So if I need to
Right.
go to, it's usually one of those.
Fair.
Spike was a debatable one for the dog, though.
Oh.
Really did debate that one. But I couldn't use Spike Spiegel for the dog. Just,
Didn't seem quite
it
right.
didn't seem quite right.
A little
Vicious
too on the
fits.
nose.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's a Germanic name for the Warhammer universe, so you do have that.
Oh, Spiegel?
Yeah.
I say Spike
Yeah.
doesn't seem very German.
No, that just seems like a dog.
I only knew his name because the credits. I just happened to see that. I was like, oh, his name's Spike Spiegel. Interesting. But yeah, so when not Herman, Heinrik and Bethen
Yes.
were pulled up a bit in the air by the vines, they both happened to notice another building made of this dark stone. Tim, do you have the regional map up on the video or no?
yes.
Okay, cool. So we can see each of these squares is about half a mile. So you're like a mile and a half or so from the camp. You didn't go that far.
Right.
Don't
Oh, that's
rub
right.
it
We're at the
in.
big gem thingy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a coin.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, if you want to take a moment, Bethen can try to at least patch yourself up first. Or you could patch up Heinrich first. It's up to you. If you guys want to take a moment to kind of catch your breath.
All right.
Bless you.
Good Lord.
Very serious. Can I use animal care to care for Heinrich?
For Vicious, yeah.
I mean, we're all mammals.
We're all mammals here. All right, I'm going to use a fortune point on that heal check because I don't want to injure Heinrich further.
Or you're going Heinrich first?
Yes.
Cool.
All right, Heinrich heals 4 wounds, right? Because it's your success levels plus my intelligence bonus.
Correct.
Okay, so Heinrich heals 4. I figured if anything else happens, I'll heal Heinrik.
And he'll what? Run away from the danger and save you?
Yeah.
This was just enough time for us to do a heal check, not enough time for us to like rest and take an endurance check.
For what?
But he's clarifying.
Oh, to like do no, you're not probably not gonna do that in the mid morning here.
I feel like a gyrocopter safety thing. Say, in result of oxygen, you doctor yourself first.
Exactly.
Here's the good news. On that one, I had 2 success levels, so I healed myself for 6.
Nice.
Which I was down to 1, so I needed it.
Heinrik was warm up.
Yeah. He's fine.
Yeah, I'm already at like 3/4 health, so
There you
like
go.
You're fine then.
Yes. Yes.
Totally.
All right, so you patched up Heinrik and yourself
Yes.
a bit. At this point, you guys have been traveling long enough. We are going to need an endurance test for the conditions
Oh, frick.
for being in the jungle.
You're
I
so
forgot about
sweet.
that. What? What am I?
we've got a little bit of a bonus to this.
I believe we're at +5 now, yes?
This is day 4
Oh, yes.
since you landed, so plus 4.
Four days?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see each day we get another one
Yes,
to it. What am I rolling?
an endurance
I forgot what I'm
test.
doing.
Right. What game is this? It's the same game as last time.
Are you sure? 'Cause I don't remember.
And it's difficult for me as I am wearing armor, yes?
Yours happens sooner, but
Oh, okay. But it's not more difficult.
no, because
Great.
you
Well,
have to
in
take
30
the test more regularly.
Well, in 33 days, I could actually make the endurance checks with rolls like I did. So
So the 4 is 40 or 4?
Literally 4.
I was going to say, how literal are we being with the 4 here? I can't remember. Because 40 would be very helpful on my 90, but 4 is not.
Scary god guy, can you give me a red pencil? Should be right there, please.
So if I fail this endurance check, what happens?
I don't see a red pencil.
Everybody dies.
Well, it's okay.
I feel like I was playing with
Oh, it's under my
Oh,
paper.
yeah, it's at your spot. So if you fail this test, you suffer a fatigued condition
Poop.
because you are starting to get dehydrated. You're sweating a lot. It's too hot. The heat and humidity is affecting you negatively.
I tried so hard to reach these vines to save all of you that I have fatigued myself because I'm
So
short.
that gives you -10 to
Dog,
all
I'm
tests per fatigue condition. It's just too hot for Liliana. Did anybody else not pass that?
Gerty did not do well.
yeah, Heinrik failed also.
Oh, so just Bethen passed.
4 success levels, baby.
All right.
Yeah. That's as good as I'm going to roll all day.
Probably. With how things have gone for you guys so far. Yeah, I believe that.
So at a -10 for everything, that means that my endurance is functionally a 13 right now.
Oh, no. It's so bad.
That's real bad.
Alrighty, so what does the party want to do now?
I need a drink. Where's the river? It's far away, isn't it?
Yeah, not near here.
I do feel like maybe being on the river would be beneficial. I'm feeling just a little bit parched, and a rest would be lovely.
Well, we could, in the sake of continuing our expedition, but getting to the waterway, we could move, at a diagonal to try to reach the river, and then we could continue our way down the river a ways.
Didn't you see a thing?
Oh, I did see a thing
To the south.
in the vines. What did I see to the south?
You saw some kind of structure made of that dark stone that you've seen a few times now. The watchtower was made out of this, the monkey beastman tower, the dastardly wall.
We could try to get there and take a rest. I'm sure that dark rock is nice and cool.
Hmm.
Well, that sounds pretty good.
Yes, let us hope that there are no strangers there. I feel like I've already met too many new people this week. Too many new creatures. Too many new vines.
Indeed.
Too many new walls.
All right. So you're going to continue heading south towards that
Yes.
structure.
How often can I make heal checks?
It's typically like once per like instance of whatever hurt you kind of thing.
Okay. So, like, when we get to the tower, could I do another heal check?
No.
If you
Maybe like if you stayed like maybe the next day you could unless something else happened.
Dumb. Okay.
Like you've done what you could for these wounds at this time.
If you were to stub your toe, yes, a new instance of damage, and then you can try to fix it, then maybe fix it a little bit too much.
I healed that toe so good.
All right, so for this one, I'm not going to have you make a navigation test because you can kind of see where you're going. This structure is pretty tall. As you get closer to it through the jungle, it's going to take you about an hour to get to this point through another mile or so of jungle. And you see it's another tower like you saw with the monkey beastman.
Was there a wide clearing around it, like with the monkey beastman?
There is, yes.
We should approach very carefully.
Agreed, absolutely.
I'd like to make a perception check to see if I can see any signs of other living things around this tower.
Same.
Okay.
I don't percept nothing. Told you.
Not with that attitude.
I'm going to do it, and so is Vicious.
How many negatives did you have, Bethen?
I had 4 negative success levels.
Ouch.
Fatigue affects this or no?
Yes.
Mm,
All
Fine.
tests.
-1 success level for Liliana.
yeah,
Ooh.
that's a -1 for Heinrik as well.
Does Vicious have the endurance check too?
Yeah, she would need it as well.
Okay, then I have
keep
to.
forgetting.
She doesn't have an endurance thing on her sheet, so I don't know.
They would just be toughness then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew there was a thing. Yeah,
That die went really far.
yeah, but Vicious passed her endurance check, so I don't have a negative on
Yay,
endurance.
Vicious is
on her.
panting enough, but not overheated.
Yeah, and Vicious perception is also a fail. So not fatigued, but also didn't notice anything.
Okay, so anybody pass that perception test then?
No.
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 We got sweat in your eyes and whatnot. It's hard to see exactly what's going on. You don't notice any living things here. It doesn't seem like habitated like the last one did. You don't see any of those paintings of Dimensionhof, as the great ape has been called. You guys can all see the tower, obviously. It's right there in the middle. It's big. You do see what look like used to be banners of some kind hanging from different parts of it. But like they look pretty ruined. They look you would recognize it was only a couple of days ago. The coloring of what's left of these banners is similar to the coloring of the livery of the elves.
That matched the big white tower that we went to.
Yes.
Interesting.
I mean, they did say that they were the ones in all the little towers, so this makes sense.
It's interesting, though, that the construction of this tower is so non-elven as
Yes.
opposed to the White Tower.
Very different from the elf tower you were at before.
So I wonder if perhaps at some point they occupied this tower, although it was not theirs originally,
So they killed some dudes and took it over,
and then were run out by other dudes.
or just got too hot and died because it's hot.
It's very hot.
So hot.
Well, I haven't seen anybody around here, so it stands to reason that we could poke around.
Agreed. Let us see what we can see, friends.
Okie dokie. Liliana's going to start walking out into the field.
Cool. All right. So you head out to the tower. It's pretty cleared around it. As you get closer, it seems the same. It looks the same as the other one, just without the paintings on it. There is an entrance on the ground level, and you can see their windows spaced very regularly. As it would be stories going up. It looks, you can count pretty easily. It's 8 stories tall.
Leon will go up to the door. Is there an actual door or is it just like an opening?
A doorway.
She's going to poke her head in the door and go, hello?
And your voice kind of echoes a little bit on the inside, and you can see as your eyes adjust a little bit to the darkness in here, you feel it's much cooler in here. As Bethen kind of guessed, it seems, the stone has a weird insulation quality to it. It's much cooler inside.
Do I see anything specifically because I have night vision?
No. Well, your eyes adjust really quickly with your night vision, but you see a wooden ladder leading up to the next floor through a hole.
In which case, the breeze coming out the doorway feels so fabulous that unless she hears screeching animal noises, she's going to go inside.
Okay.
Yes, it's so nice. Come on inside. Right into the middle, and she's going to lay herself down on the cold stone floor and be like, yes.
Great. So this place reminds you, it's pretty much like being inside the watchtower again, except it's just straight up. The watchtower, as you went up the ladders, the rooms kept getting smaller. And here it's just like a big square going up, and it's like 6 yards by 6 yards. So not huge, but it is 8 stories tall.
Wow. That's crazy tall.
Yeah.
I would like to ascend the ladder.
Okay. You can climb on up. The second floor here looks the same as the first. There's just kind of like debris of like where clearly like leaves have come in through windows every once in a while, and just kind of just like living refuse, basically. Nothing, doesn't look like anything created is in here. Nothing like, quote, man-made, creature-made,
Cool.
Around this first floor, is there signs of habitation of any type or leftover refuse, or is it just very clean, just some plant debris?
No, I mean, there's a little bit of like grasses growing in some of the corners, maybe some moss and things like that, but nothing like it doesn't look like anybody has been here in a long time. Nothing has been left behind.
Okay.
Well, I suppose there's no harm in finding out what is on the higher floors. Perhaps we'll find something of value.
And I would like to know what the scope of visual range is from the top of the tower, because this would be a great asset to have if it can oversee the lagoon where Wissenberg is.
You figure based on how most of the land kind of goes up as you go further from the coast, this looks like it would have a great vantage point. You figure it's probably why it's built here.
I think we should be very careful, because the last watchtower that we approached, and there was a dead elf, and the other elves told us of invisible things, yes, shooting blow darts at people.
You don't think the monkeys did it?
I don't think, monkeys are very crafty.
No, the ones at the other tower with the chanting and the food and the...
I don't know. I did not see any blowguns on them. They very well could have them, but very sneaky blowguns.
I've never known beastmen to use such sophisticated weapons, though.
That is true.
Yes.
Got a point. Do monkey beastmen even have lips to use a blowgun?
Well, this is a good question.
You're making my brain hurt now.
So you're going to head on up?
Yep.
Is everybody going up, or anybody staying on the ground floor?
I will stay temporarily until they say, hey, Gerty, come up here.
Ascending a ladder would be quite difficult for you with your...
Well, Vicious,
Yes.
Vicious can't go up a ladder, so...
It is-
and I don't like tall things, so I'm on the floor.
Okay. So it is a ladder that's like 90 degrees straight up. I mean,
Yeah.
dogs can... I've seen videos of dogs climb ladders that are quite an angle, but not this one. So you're going to stay down there with Vicious?
Mhm.
Okay.
And enjoy the cool, lovely stone floor.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
You feel like all of you being inside the tower here, you feel like you stop sweating relatively quickly, and you figure maybe if you stay in here for a little while, you could get rid of your fatigue conditions,
Great.
because it feels pretty nice. So Bethen and Heinrik ascend
Here we
up
go.
to the third floor.
To the third floor.
All right, looks the same as before. Nothing crazy in here.
Third floor, same as before.
Bethen and Heinrik, you do notice, you feel like there's a little bit of a wobble to the tower. as you get up higher.
Like
Doesn't-
in the floor or in the tower itself?
You have this strange like sense of vertigo. It's like, whoa, did it just move?
Oh, like that.
I mean, not a wall.
Heinrich just assumes what he's feeling right now is related to being overheated.
That's fair.
Fair. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you head up to the 4th floor.
Yes.
You go up there. It looks the same. Nothing. It's pretty much all the same. There's nothing crazy going on here.
Does the vertigo feeling continue?
Yeah, it seems like a bit wobblier.
I don't want to go up to the top.
A little bit of dust falls down from above you.
Not going to the top. I will look out the window from the 4th floor, though.
Okay.
What do I see?
It's a pretty clear day today. It's a bit hazy from the humidity. To the southeast. Make a navigation check real quick.
Got it. Wow. 3 negative success levels.
All
Ka-chow.
right. You're not sure how far this is. It looks pretty far. You see the glint of a tower that seems very familiar. You figure it's got to be a couple miles away. It does stick out from the forest a bit,
Okay.
but it seems like that same kind of golden cap that you've seen before.
Okay.
Could I make a geology or a metallurgy check? Is this a darker stone that this place is made out of? Maybe, I don't know, softer rock or something that not be good to build too high with or something along those lines?
Sure, you can make a geology test. You have, like, lore geology?
I do.
Cool. That's neat.
Well, that'll be 2 success levels.
You figure this is probably granite. Pretty basic building stone. The stones here are cut pretty roughly. It's not... You are, like, appalled by the construction here, and you do... Even on the ground floor, you can sense this bit of movement, and that it's kind of sending off red flags in your head. A little bit of dust comes down from above.
Okay.
Liliana goes, keeps her eyes closed, and she assumes it's a bug. She's taking a nap, effectively.
I think, I'm kind of yelling up to Bethen and Heinrik. This place is not put together very good. Maybe if we really need to see what's up top, I think maybe we send only one person or tiniest person
Not going.
or a second tiniest, well, third or fourth probably tiniest person.
Good catch.
Yeah, Bethan's gonna go back down. There's no need. No. All the no.
What?
I'm not climbing all the way up there.
Oh, so you want to go back down?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Heinrich, are you going to go back down, or are you going to travel? Are you going to continue going up?
I think that I'm just going to scope out the top few floors here just to make sure that everything is safe. And I'll say out of character that Heinrich is absolutely interested in seeing if there's any treasure that he can acquire and not tell anybody about.
Hell yeah. Yep.
I love it. All right, so Bethen makes her way back down. Heinrich goes up. So Bethen goes... Well, you're on the 4th floor then, right?
Third, fourth.
4th.
Third.
Yeah, you're on the 4th.
Fourth.
So Bethen goes down to the 3rd. Heinrich goes up to the 5th. And you all feel this wobbling. The stones are kind of like... You can feel the tower moving.
I think I understand why it's abandoned.
It's a weeble wobbly.
Especially Heinrich.
Maybe you are right about this. If Heinrich can't see anything that looks treasure adjacent on the 5th floor, he's going back down.
Yeah, you don't see any kind of treasure here. It looks pretty much the same. There's a little bit of detritus from just remains of living things that get in here. Maybe like a little skeleton of a small creature once in a while, but that's it. So you head back down?
Yeah.
So you go to the 4th level. Bethen's at the 2nd level. And the wobbling becomes more than a wobble. And you all get the sense that this is coming down.
Let's get the heck out, bud.
Yeah.
So Gerty and Liliana can get out, no problem, if you wish. I know Liliana seemed pretty confident that nothing was wrong.
Because we're on the ground floor and she's laying like face down on the floor, can she really feel that it's wobbling?
Yeah, I mean, there's like little bits are coming down from above.
Okay.
The stones are grinding against each other here.
Gerty.
Well, yes, I think we should mosey on down the not collapsing path.
All right, I trust the dwarf. She's going to get up and follow him. She's cranky about it, but she's doing it. Is it long enough to get rid of fatigue?
No.
No, didn't think so.
Good try, though.
I tried. Why are you using our theme music in the background?
Because that's just jungle.
I'm now concerned.
It's just a track called Jungle Music. I forgot that was the theme music.
And that's a wrap on episode 18. Thanks so much for joining us.
All
the
right,
tower falls down, and this is how it ends.
So Gerty and Liliana get out just fine. I was like, who was it that got out?
And Vicious. All three of us. Thank you.
And Vicious get out just fine. Bethen and Heinrik, you sense this is getting dire. You need to get out of here. Mm-hmm. So, Bethen, I will allow you to make an athletics test to travel more than one more floor.
I passed it.
So you're able to like slide down the ladder past the second floor to the base floor and get out. Heinrik, you were on, I think, the third floor though. So this is gonna, if you pass we'll make a difficult athletics test. You'll be able to get to the ground floor and out.
Difficult is minus 20.
10.
Minus 10?
Yep.
Minus 20 because you're fatigued.
Yeah.
Am I going to face any particularly dire consequences for not making this athletics check?
Just the collapsing tower.
The tower will probably fall on top of you.
Are you saying you did not
While
roll
you're
a
in
1 to 12?
Yeah, I am going to be rolling against a 12 if I am making a difficult athletics while fatigued.
Jump out the window.
Make an intelligence test. Just challenging.
Well, if I wasn't fatigued, this would have still been a failure, actually. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Could always use a resilience point.
Now that we know how magical
For the
they are.
intelligence check?
No, for
right.
your athletics check to get you the heck out of there.
Ooh.
Just use a resolve after it collapses on you to ignore the collapsed upon condition.
You
The
know what?
buried alive.
I'll make this athletics check. I've got fortune points. And I actually rolled an 11.
What?
So I
What?
do make this athletics check.
What?
Man, you manifested that.
Oh, yes.
The world.
Wow. So with a rumble,
In the jungle.
but with a bit, you guys are just running away from this tower as it just collapses with a and it falls. Heinrich gets out of there just in time without having tons of rock fall on top of him. Just for a little bit of funsies, it would have been D10 damage per level above you, reduced
Oh my
by
God.
toughness but not armor. So the intelligence test was to think, well, maybe if I go up higher, less will fall on top of me. So if you didn't make it out, it would have been 8d10 damage.
Well, I would have still fell, though, I assume. So it would be falling damage plus collapse on top of me damage.
Would have been enough damage for a critical hit either
I mean,
way.
falling damage is what's been almost killing all of
Yep.
us.
Oh, yes.
Yes, falling damage is the most dangerous thing in here. But this whole tower collapses behind you, falls down, and you guys are just running away from it as the dust from it envelops you all, and you have to stop and cough as this rock dust gets in your lungs. But none of you were in the tower when it collapsed, which is pretty sweet.
That in no way stops Liliana from complaining that the nice place that's cool and shaded is now a pile of rubble.
Unfortunately, that did happen, but it didn't fall on anybody and kill them, so, there's that.
Perspective.
Yeah.
The good
Liliana, this is the worst thing that could have happened. You're right. We definitely needed this break.
If only you hadn't gone up the tower. And she pats you on the side, which is more like your thigh.
Yeah.
She's not wrong.
I was hopeful that we could have gotten the engineers back here to shore it up a little bit, but
I mean, there's at least a pretty considerable amount of building materials.
very true.
Right
They could
here.
reconstruct it
Yes.
with proper dwarven ingenuity.
Or use it for whatever they're doing for anything else, really.
Sure, we will have to let them know that this is here. I did see another structure while I was on the 4th floor.
Oh, yes?
It was shiny on top. I don't know in which direction it was, but I saw it.
Shiny like the elf shiny?
You knew what direction. You weren't sure exactly how far it was.
Oh,
you know it was
it's
to the southeast. Yeah.
So we could head in that direction if we wish.
Yeah, we've only survived curtains that tried to kill us and a building that also tried to kill us, so I think third time's the charm, yes?
It is only about midday, so.
Yeah, so we should probably have lunch.
Okay.
And perhaps it would be wise to at least move away from this tower. Certainly we would have caught whoever's attention with this collapse.
I agree.
Yes.
Whose attention would we get? Nobody was in the tower. And it's not like it's going to fall off the pile at you.
But you never know who or what is lurking in the jungle.
I guess.
That's right. As we know, there are beastmen and orcs and who knows what else.
Wolves.
How exciting.
Wolves.
So as the dust settles here, I'm assuming you look at the tower after it's collapsed. You do know, everybody would notice this glint of something very shiny.
Let's go check it out.
Yes, I like glints.
Okay, so Gerty, Bethen, go investigate. Anybody else?
Yeah, Heinrik's gonna go check out the whole treasure situation.
And Liliana is not one to be left behind, so she's going with them.
Okay. So you head back. You see in the very middle of the rubble, this thing is spread out for probably a dozen yards in diameter. This pile of this rock now. You see what looks like could be maybe a weapon. It looks like very nice metal.
Okay.
Let us unearth this.
As you travel if you want to climb your way through this rubble, it is going to be, I'm going to need a, what's it called? Athletics test. I'll make it average, but failing it just means you might get your foot stuck for a second or it takes you a bit to get there. If you suffer a astounding failure, 6 or more negative success levels, you are going to suffer a critical hit to the leg. Or like twisting your ankle or something.
I think I can do this.
Gerty will not be doing this. Even at average, I'm at minus 20 to use leg, and seems like outstanding failure of something I'm super capable of right now.
And you especially know that climbing over these rocks are not settled. You could not, shift something and then it would crush your leg or something very easily.
Oh, yes.
Everybody is still fatigued, don't forget.
No, I'm not.
Bethen was the only one not fatigued, right?
I also got 2 success levels.
Nice.
Yeah.
Heinrich?
Had 3 negative success levels, so
you can get there, but you don't suffer any damage.
Liliana's not going. If anything, she's kind of like poking at the rocks around the outside and looking if there's anything closer to her tiny self.
Fair. So Bethen gets there first. Heinrich will catch up after a moment. And you see what looks like a big silver axe. Very fancy looking. What kind of lore? Well, just make an average intelligence test here.
All right. That's 2 success levels on the intelligence check.
The design of it looks similar to what you've seen before. This is clearly an elf weapon.
Oh.
But it looks really nice. It's very shiny, very clean. Once Heinrich catches up, you notice kind of a few feet away from the axe you see like an arm sticking out of the rubble. With you see like a greave and like a skeletal hand.
Okay. That was going to be my question. Interesting.
certainly no survivor, but we should see who this is. And so Heinrik's gonna see if he can't dig around this body a little bit to see if I can figure out if it's an elf or something else.
All right, so you can dig through the rubble a little bit, take move away a few smaller pieces of rock, and you see it looks like another elf, very similar to what you saw in the watchtower, but clearly has been dead a long time. There's a little bit of flesh hanging here and there, but it's pretty much just a skeleton in old, super weathered armor. Just like you saw before, it had like a breastplate. It's all kind of dented and busted now. But you figure this must have been higher up in the tower. You just didn't get there, and it came crashing down with everything else. The robes it's wearing are all torn and weathered, sun bleached, but clearly was an elf at one point.
Okay.
But the weapon that you found, it's a huge axe.
Like a great axe?
Two-handed?
Definitely would be a two-handed axe. Yeah,
Okay.
It's like probably 5 feet long.
Wow.
The whole thing.
I'm going to turn and hold it above my head and say, look, Liliana, I'm a proper warrior now.
It's surprisingly light. Like Bethen's got a strength of 20 something, right?
Don't pick on me. Yes, 22.
I knew it. You would imagine that a weapon this size typically Bethen would have trouble hefting, but because it's elven made, and it's strange how it doesn't seem like it's aged like the other stuff. You pick it up and it's like, way lighter than you expect it to be, and you feel like you could swing it pretty easily. It is a two-handed weapon, so anybody that would want to wield it, you would have to have the two-handed weapon. Yeah, melee two-weapon skill. I think you take a -20 if you try to fight with it if you don't have that skill. But you feel good holding it. Like, wow, this is awesome.
I quite like this.
Is it as big as me?
It's tall. Like if you were to stand it up, it would be taller than Liliana.
Whoa.
Sure. And the blade of it is like almost half the length of the hilt of the handle. It's a big axe.
And you cannot lie.
Gerty, you speak elf.
Yes, sure
Do you have like lore elf or anything like that?
No?
We'll make a lore dwarf test here. Make it difficult.
I failed by 4 degrees, success levels, negatives, the bad ones.
Okay. Well, I mean, just because elves and dwarves have such a history, you might recognize this a bit more, but you recognize it as an elven weapon.
How about geology?
Geology will not help you here.
Okay.
Good try, though.
Does my duck quack at it?
Only if you squeeze it.
Wrong game.
Oh, nuts.
Wrong show. Yeah, but you found this fancy axe.
It's real fancy. All right. Cool. I'm going to carry it back
Okay.
to Gerty and Liliana.
So make me one. This time we'll make an average. Was it average before? The
Yes.
athletics test to walk by.
Mhm.
You were able to go through just fine before, so let's make it easy this time, just in case.
Cool. 5 success levels.
Oh wow. Okay, so you're totally fine. So same for Heinrik walking back.
No, I lied. No, I didn't lie. I lied that I lied.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Shh, stop.
Heinrik is gonna, after Bethen got this big cool axe, Heinrik is gonna poke around to see if there's anything else shiny inside these rocks. Should I make like a perception check or something else?
Sure. You can roll perception.
Dig check.
Well, that's not a success. 0 negative success levels.
All right, digging around, you don't find anything else shiny. Just the dead elf body with its busted up armor.
And it doesn't have a coin purse?
Do you search the body itself?
Yeah.
Okay. You can find that it's wearing one of those silver pendants like Gerty found at the watchtower. It has an elven rune on the end.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get that pendant.
Sweet. So you can put elven pendant there as your trapping.
Elf axe.
Yeah. So then you can just put elf great axe if you want.
It is a great axe. Thank you.
Pretty great.
They're great. Right.
All right. Well, I gotta make that athletics check to get out.
It is easy, so you should be okay.
Yeah, I got 2 success levels.
Great. So you were able to make it back without like twisting an ankle or anything. You guys, you got some spoils kind of here.
Treasure.
We saved the day.
Yeah. So if anybody had made that perception test when you first came into the clearing, you would have seen a glint of the axe hanging over the very top of the tower to persuade you to go up it.
Just so it could fall down on top of us?
Yeah, there was a 5% chance each floor you went up that it would fall. And I rolled it on, I think, the second roll because that's what I do.
How surprising.
I rolled a 4. I was like, oh, okay, it's coming down.
That's so weird.
How dare.
Cool.
All right. So you wanted to try to head towards the other tower you think might be Elven?
Yes.
Okie dokie. So you have an idea of what direction to go in. So much you guys will do the whoever would be helping. I won't make everybody roll this time because you had an argument against it that made sense. Whoever wants to help make a group navigation test to find your way to this tower. Now that you're down on ground level, you can't see it through the foliage.
I will help.
I mean, you saw the tower, so do
Right.
which way?
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
Bethen would have to roll, and anybody else could roll with her.
Aha! 2 success levels.
I've got 37 navigation. If anybody can beat that, they can help instead.
So do you actually have advances in navigation?
No, but it's a basic skill.
Okay.
and I have pretty good initiative.
Because I say if you have ranks in it, you can assist and just give 10 plus 10 to the
I
person rolling.
assist.
All right. Well, I rolled an 8, so that's
Wow.
Boom.
2 success levels fatigued.
Great.
I just flat assist.
So you just give another plus 10, so that's a
Yeah.
total of 5 success levels, which is pretty fantastic. So you can basically make your way straight to this tower. As you're heading through the jungle, you figure you're about halfway there, and you see the jungle just open up in front of you in a big swath, like a savanna,
Ooh.
for a few miles in every direction. You can see the jungle continue on way across. You have trees here and there. You can see some strange creatures in the distance that are these really tall, long-legged things you've never seen before. You saw kind of an image of them in that painting in the watchtower, but it's the weirdest creature you've ever seen. It has this big body with these long, spindly legs, four long legs, and this long neck with a little tiny head on the top with some horns.
Right?
And it's yellow with brown spots.
Yeah.
Heinrik
In real life, I love them.
draws his sword.
These are,
Liliana just gets big eyes and goes, "It's bigger than me."
this is gnome.
There are no gnomes in my games.
Oh, okay.
A large creature. Does it appear sentient or armored or
No, it's not wearing any armor or
Okay.
anything. There's a small group of them, 3 or 4 of them, just kind of slowly walking. They're a couple hundred yards away from you right now.
okay?
Since I'm a rat catcher, can I assess whether or not they look aggressive from here?
You can make an animal care test or animal training,
course, later.
whichever one might be better.
They're exactly the same.
Oh, interesting.
I think we're seeing giraffes in real life.
Can I assist in this animal care as I have ranks in it?
Sure.
Sweet.
So plus 10.
Which counts as a counter to my fatigue, so I fail by -4.
Oh, okay. So you're like, I have no idea what that is. It's real big. You figure it's probably 30 feet tall.
Dire gnomes.
You do see them walk over like an area, like I said, a couple hundred yards away. That's like a bit of a mound, kind of in the middle of this savanna area. Everybody make a average perception test as you watch them walk over this.
Sweet.
Wow.
3 success levels.
5.
Oh, geez. 5 positive.
Yeah. I rolled a 5 too, so this is very nice.
That's a critical, right?
Wait,
Oh, yeah.
is it? Did you say average or challenge?
Yeah, average.
Oh, then 5.
20.
4.
Bethen?
Oh,
3,
minus
2.
3.
Nope, 5.
Heinrik?
let's not worry too much about it.
All right. Well, since that makes sense, since Gerty and Liliana were really trying to figure out what they might be able to glean from these creatures from a distance, you see as they kind of walk over this mound, you see some very small creatures compared to them, kind of like running around them, waving like sticks at them. And they seem kind of agitated. They're not like attacking the things, but like running around. You figure they had their little arms up. They might be yelling.
And they're trying to like
Are
herd it.
they driving it away or like corralling it or?
It's kind of too far to tell. But with this mound here, you also see what looks like it could be like a doorway sort of into the mound.
Like a home?
Potentially?
Maybe big things walk through their garden outside of their house, and they're very upset that their turnips are ruined.
Liliana, this actually really just makes you... It reminds you of the moot.
Yeah.
How homes are built into the hills. And halflings live underground. It looks very similar to that. But in the middle of the savannah, in the jungle.
Are there native halflings in the savannah?
I don't know. I'm gonna go make friends. Liliana's gonna be like, I'm gonna go find my people. And unless anybody stops her, she should just be like, hey!
Well, Lily, I don't know. Let's get closer before you see the salutations. You never know if waving really means I'm here to steal your turnips also or something.
I mean, if I was gonna steal some turnips, you don't tell nobody you're gonna steal some turnips there, Gerty. You just kind of go in the back gate.
Well, listen, there's not many gates here.
You're right. You're right.
So do you continue or does Gerty stop?
I'm not waving frantically and shouting anymore, but we're gonna slowly, I guess, go there.
Okay. Everybody gonna follow or
Yeah, I'm gonna go with her.
Oh, yes, slowly, yes.
Heinrich?
Heinrik's gonna hang back with Gerty. He's been burned too many times from discovering new people in the jungle.
Fair. So as you get closer, you see the people that you recognize. As you get closer, they look more like people of some kind.
Bigger than me, people.
No, they look halfling-sized. They're not gnomes. Don't even say it.
Get
Okay.
Saw it.
Rest.
Saw that glint. And the strange creatures that we would think of as giraffes are kind of beyond the mound at this point. And as you get closer, they look like halflings, except they have very dark skin. They have like close cropped black hair. And they're not dressed like halflings of the Mootland, but they're dressed very simply. Obviously, it's hot here, so they're wearing loose-fitting clothing. A bunch of them have sticks. As you get closer, you do see there is some areas here where the earth has been like tilled a bit. You see some small crops growing.
I very pointedly avoid walking in the middle of those,
Yes.
and we go around them.
You see some clear paths to take between these little fields. Gerty nailed it. They are yelling at the giraffes for walking over their home, but also through their gardens.
So I may have nailed that, but when you described four-legged thing with a very long neck and horns, I was like, oh, it's like a brontosaurus with triceratops horns. And I just completely ignored the spots part.
No, it's just a Warhammer giraffe.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, that's absolutely brilliant.
Brontosaurus would be awesome, though.
Wait, is Gerty
Or
coming with us or you
Brachiosaurus.
weren't coming with us?
No, I am just slowly because my leg is not as strong as dwarf legs normally would be.
Okay.
Boo-boos.
He does move at almost a quarter speed of everybody else.
True.
But as you get closer, you see these other halflings.
Are they saying
Notice
anything,
you.
shouting anything?
They start to like kind of group together. You see there's probably a dozen or so of them. Different. You see different ages. There's men, there's women, there's a few kids that hide behind other people. And then one kind of steps forward in front of the rest, and he's got like a spear in his hand. And he just kind of stands there with it out. You notice in his other hand is a sling.
I'm going
We,
to.
like put our hands
I'm going to
up.
literally copy him because I have my quarterstaff with the rats on it, which is probably more intimidating than Liliana intends it to be when she's going to stand out there and stick her spear out and say hi.
How far away do you stop?
What's the range on a sling?
I was going to say Liliana would know that. I was thinking it too.
You would, yeah. I don't have a sling on my GM's
I
going to
do.
check that.
60.
60 yards.
So I'm gonna.
So you stop
61
that
yards
like a little
away.
further than that away, just in case, or
Yeah.
does Liliana go closer?
Like 3 steps closer.
Okay.
Just to prove that she's in front of Bethen.
All right. So you stop and you take like the same stance as the other person.
Yeah.
He shouts something.
Is it moodish?
It kind of it almost sounds like a heavy dialect of Moodish. Because halflings have their own language, just like dwarves and elves. But they almost never speak it outside the moot. And it's really just kind of like Pig Latin Reichspiel.
It's incredible.
And they typically only speak it around humans just to confuse them and make fun of them.
Right.
Yes.
To talk about humans without humans when they're talking about them.
Yes.
Love it.
So yeah.
Well, Heinrik has the translation pendant, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Does that translate
So can I-
everything or just elvish things?
Everything, right?
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
it's supposed to be everything.
So
Do
far
I understand this?
Well, so far it's translated elf. That's all that you really have been around.
That's why I asked. I couldn't remember. I do have language moodish as an advanced skill, but I didn't take any upgrades in it.
Okay, so you've been exposed to it. You're as a halfling, you know how to speak Moodish. Make an average language Moodish test plus 20.
So it's really only a plus 10 because I'm fatigued.
Right.
This would be so much better if I had 0 negative success level.
So you're like, it sounds. So it'd be like if we heard somebody speaking a really heavy like Scottish accent, speaking English, and you could pick out some words, but half of it you're like, I have no idea what they're saying, because some like not to be offensive in any way, but for Americans to hear like a Highland Scottish accent is almost like another language. It's that's such a heavy accent that it'd be difficult to understand. Just like if somebody from there heard somebody from like Oklahoma in the States, which speaks a very different English than we even do here in New York. So like, it's just, you feel like, they're speaking a language, you just can't quite figure out what he's saying. He's clearly asking a question. You're just not sure what it is.
Liliana has to stand there and go, I know he's trying to talk to me, Bethen.
Can she say something in moodish or
Oh,
whatever
I'm totally going to do that.
that maybe they'll be able to understand her?
She's going to at very least attempt to say hello or a greeting in moodish.
I'd let you make a test for that because you don't have advances in it. Like you've been exposed to it, but it's not like you're fluent.
Yeah, no.
So I will let you do a challenging test to try to speak it, because typically, like hearing it, you'd understand it better than you could speak it.
I didn't do it very well. Negative a lot.
All right, so you try to say something, and you notice the guy's just like,
It's something you usually hear your dad say. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, excuse me?
what is that line in Luka? When they
Bruno?
No, when they say to people because they think it's like,
when he calls them idiots to get out of their way. Yeah.
What's the matter? Or like something like that.
Yeah.
Idiot.
But you get the sense that he can
Stupido.
tell that you're trying to communicate in the same language, and they're kind of like, huh. So he starts walking towards you guys.
Bethen is still behind Liliana. My hands are like out, palms out, like in the very like that, like
Like you're going to cast fireball at them.
no, like in the mime.
Oh, yes. Mimes make people very happy.
And comfortable.
Liliana will do like a waving thing with the other hand and I guess step up a couple more steps and try and meet him halfway.
Okay. You see he's smiling at this point, and he repeats what he said. I'll let you make an easy moodish test this time to catch it the second time.
You can hear it.
I really hate that I'm fatigued. 4. Wait. It's
Easy's
not.
plus 40,
Yeah, but I'm fatigued, so it's really only plus 30.
right?
Look, I rolled a 65 on a 61.
Oh, no.
I'm dying right now.
No.
So you're just like I know I just can't quite figure it out.
She's totally 100% blaming it on being hot and tired, and she's like making a frowny face, and she's gonna be like, I'm hot, and then she's gonna be like, this. She's going to dig in her pockets. And if she has any kind of ration for the day, she's going to hold out food.
Oh, he smiles at that. He's like, oh.
She knows what a halfling is.
Heinrik, you feel the pendant of all languages or whatever it's called. I forget.
You made it up.
That you're wearing. That's like against your chest. You feel it get a little warm as the other halfling speaks.
And do I understand what they say?
Not yet, because it takes a little while for it to like get enough to be able to translate. But it feels the same as it did with the elves. Like this, it's gonna work.
Wait, did somebody else find a similar pendant?
No.
What was I thinking just now?
So he's got the one that one of our elves made for us for the language.
It was made by the
translation.
Celestial College in Altdorf of Wizards.
That's that thing. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, gotcha.
And then the pendant that Heinrich found is just like I am an elf. If found, please return me to.
Oh.
It was a pendant with
tags.
the elf rune for strength because they were warriors.
Right. Oh, yes. I forgot about that one.
So this halfling comes up to you a little timidly, but he's not like worried because you guys aren't being aggressive at all.
Yeah.
He's happy to see some food. And he looks a little bit old. You can see some gray coming in on his temples to his really curly black hair. Like I said, his skin is really dark, like almost black. And he looks like an old wizened halfling.
Like the chief halfling?
Kinda.
Like
an elder.
Yeah.
You would recognize him as. But he also seems like, from the movie, he seems like he kind of filled the role of a field warden as well. Somebody that is like in charge of protecting the borders and whatnot. And he comes up to you and he kind of slowly, he like makes eye contact with you. And he slowly reaches out to take some of the food. Like kind of like, is this okay?
And she's going to like literally like bring it closer to his hand.
He takes whatever it is. He takes a bite of it and he says something. And Heinrich, you feel the pendant get a little bit warm again. We'll do one more easy Moodus test to see if you have any idea what he's saying here.
Let's see if maybe Liliana can remember anything about her own life.
He says, "Itbe Goodbe."
Oh, which means I hate green peppers.
You said easy?
Yeah.
So
plus 30.
Three levels of success.
There we go.
Yay!
So he takes it, and you understand now that he's close. You've heard him say a couple of things. You're like, oh, okay, I can kind of figure out what the differences are. He basically just says like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say yes. I don't actually know Pig Latin. Don't make me talk it.
SCA.
Is that really right?
Yeah.
No. Liliana's going to point to herself and say, Liliana.
All right. He points to himself. He gets that pretty quick. He points to himself. I didn't make up a name for any of these people yet. That was dumb.
A little bit. You know we like character names.
Well, there's Runo Bay and Arl K and Akile, Iname.
Oh, it'd be really great if they were just all halflings right now.
He points to himself and he says, "Mba."
That do, but
Just because my head did it, I was trying really hard not to sing it. I'm going to point to Bethen and say her name. And to the other two. And like point up high for the Heinrich and the down low for the Gerty to like differentiate names.
oh, we are friends with these people. This is good.
She's friends with you, saying Gerty.
Shout over my shoulder. They appear to be friendly.
He points.
Heinrich is. Oh,
go ahead.
I was going to say Heinrich is going to do a formal bow of introduction.
Do you come up with the rest of the group now?
Yeah.
Okay. Gerty, do you stay back or do you come up with Heinrich?
Well, no, I was walking just slowly.
Oh, so you catch up at this point.
Oh, yes.
You're limp. So he points at Liliana and he says, Liliana.
Yeah.
Bethen. Gerty.
Gerty.
Heinrich.
That means you're friends.
This is good.
Mba.
Ogumbe.
You're so
Thanks,
they. She says thanks back.
So he's kind of just starts talking because he thinks he can understand him at this point. And after just a few sentences, Heinrich can understand him with the pendant.
Thank God, because that was a lot of rolling and failing.
Yeah. I'm not going to make you constantly roll for that. As he talks, you kind of pick it up a little bit. I'm going to make it so Liliana can understand him as well. And you start to figure out how you can change your moodish talk to talk back to him. So similarly how Gerty happened to know Eltharin and he could speak to the elves and you could translate that way. Heinrik can understand him. It doesn't give him the ability to speak this Southlands moodish back. But Liliana can kind of translate for everybody. So we'll just imagine we'll skip all the translating steps and you guys can just talk with them as if.
Unless I intentionally don't say what Heinrik says.
Yeah, if you want to say, no, I'm going to tell everybody he says this.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so we need to establish something very important very quickly, Liliana. These things here.
Can we milk them?
Can they be milked?
They're a little too tall for us.
Right?
I mean, for
Can you
real,
imagine trying to
did you see how
milk a
tall it
giraffe?
was? We're a lot closer to where they were. I have a funny feeling I barely reach his kneecap.
Bethen is very tall. Maybe Bethen can milk it. I'm just saying, maybe we could ask. Maybe they know a way to milk them.
It's true. First things first, I'm going to ask you about water.
Yeah, why don't you come inside and I give you some water?
Yes, inside. It's so hot.
Where are you from? You look like Southling, but not.
You Southling, I'm a Northling.
Northling.
Very far north. How many days? Many days.
Many days.
On a boat.
Oh.
And then walking.
Many stories then.
Many stories.
We love stories. Come inside. Come to the barrows. You see that you asked about these animals here? These are a giraffe.
Yes.
They just nuisance. They eat the crops.
They're not like part of the field. You don't. They're what am I looking for? Domesticated.
No, they just walk over a fence.
Yeah, they're a little taller on the fence. I guess you really can't keep them out, can you?
And that's why we say, shoo, go away. Don't eat our crops.
Yes. What do you grow? What are you growing?
All kinds of things.
Things
What are some
I know.
typical, I don't know, there's some banana.
What do we know what bananas are? I don't
Didn't
know.
we eat bananas already earlier on?
I think so. Didn't we say pineapple? Are you looking up African fruits for me again?
Yes.
Or African plants?
You could do rice, cassava, maize,
cassava.
coffee, plantain.
Yeah, they got
I
all
don't remember
kinds
what
of.
we've had
Definitely
before.
coffee. Isn't that a tree though?
It's a bean on a tree.
I mean,
Coffee.
bananas are trees, yeah.
Bananas are trees
What?
too. Yeah.
Well, not technically bushes.
Don't
They grow
get me
like a
started.
tree, though.
Technically, bananas are herbs.
They're a berry.
Or berry.
You could do cotton.
Can't eat cotton though.
Yeah, they've got kind
You can milk cotton, though, oddly enough.
What?
Yes.
Millet, sorghum, like different types of grain.
Yeah, they got all kinds of stuff
Oil,
like that.
palm, okra, black-eyed peas.
So let's just assume there's this long conversation about comparing crops from what we grow
Yes.
up north, what we have on south, whatever I fed him. I don't know if it's a thing he's eaten before.
Probably, yeah. Because
I
you
figured it
would
was
be
like
pretty much almost out of the rash, like things from the boat, because the doors need it a lot for the return trip. Well, some of it's similar. Obviously, some things are different in a very different climate, but you can talk shop about that. He tells you learn pretty quickly. They grow all kinds of things. There's a whole bunch of fields on the other side of the mountains here that you couldn't see before, but they grow a lot of stuff here.
It would be great if they could if we could learn from them and get some seeds or whatever, or even establish some kind of trade rapport.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. He says, "Oh, trade. We love trading. Yes."
We have. Yes.
Would
You
you
may
ask him-
want to ask who they trade with.
And also if they have a healer. I'd love to talk to their healer.
You also probably want a lot of plants to take home for your little planting experiment thingies.
Yes.
Okay. So, in the course of this lovely conversation about plants and stuff, she is going to ask who they trade with.
Oh,
Or what do they need? What do they want? What do they want to trade? Where are they trading? It's just like a tumbling of questions. She
Yeah.
doesn't know how to
We
stop.
trade with the other halfling mounds, of course, Southling mounds, of course. The city of Nkaramba, big trade.
Where big trade? Need lots of things.
Oh, he points kind of to the east. He says Nkaramba, the city.
Now you have to spell that.
N''Koranba.
I didn't spell that right at all. So say it again.
N''Kora. NBA.
NBA.
To the east. You said, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Nkaraba. Karanba, sorry. Can't even pronounce anything.
How
Yeah, he says it's to the east about a mile. It said just inside the jungle on the river.
Elves?
Elves?
Elves in Nkaramba?
No, not really.
Interesting. Who's in Nkaramba?
Maybe some.
Big trade. Never been to Nkaramba.
All right, let me double check. Are there elves here? Oh, a few.
Could you imagine a city?
Who was there? Some Southlands. Some Longshanks. He points to Heinrik and Bethen.
Longshanks.
Some dwarfs. He points to Gerty.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, others. Some Chakma, some goblins, some Skaven, some orcs, so ogres, lizardmen.
Do they attack the city?
Who?
The orcs and goblins and skates.
No. They're not that dumb.
But they live in the city?
Yeah.
It's very heavily fortified.
No. We could go whenever.
I hunt Skaven.
Hunt?
See my stick? Point to the giant rocks, giant rats.
Oh, yeah, rat's bad. No, Mafuta rules Nkaramba.
Mafuta?
Mafuta the Vast.
Mafuta the Vast.
Mafuta, Mafuta.
My foot hurts. Maybe someone can fix it.
I will ask about doctors now, because that is a great segue. And I'll say that she is a doctor. He needs a doctor.
Oh.
Where can we find...
Yeah, you looked out so good. And he, kind of brushes some of the dust from the stuff off your arm. You too, Longshanks, he points to Heinrik. Come inside. We rest. It's hot out today.
Yes, we go inside. I figured we were inside, although Liliana would definitely get distracted by crop talk outside.
All right, so I'm going to point you to Foundry quick, just so you get an idea of what this place looks like inside. Inside the mound, Liliana, you feel like you're at home. This looks like a typical halfling home. So you can go to scene C. I'll reveal some of the inside here. So it's like the whole inside is dug out. Everything's covered in wood paneling. The floor, the walls, the ceiling is all covered. Looks really nice. Just like you'd expect a halfling home in the Empire. It's very, very similar.
Wow.
He leads you to a sitting room. Here on the map is marked B. There's a big table with a bunch of chairs around it. A couple hearths. There's nothing burning in it at the moment because it's too hot for that. But it's pretty comfortable in here. It's nice and cool being underground. You realize you'll be able to remove your fatigue conditions pretty quickly here.
Liliana's eyes just start glowing when she gets inside. She is so happy. It is palpable to the whole room. She does not even hesitate to make herself as comfortable as humanly or halfling possible in this space. And Vicious is just lolling on the ground at her feet. So happy.
Nice.
Not even thinking about the fact that the two tall people have to hunch their way in. Nope.
Yeah, who cares about that?
Yeah, is Heinrich gonna think that this is a nice place, or is this savage chic?
For Heinrich, no. I mean, first of all, the ceilings are 5 feet 5 feet high.
Would you call this quaint?
Yes,
Yeah.
middle class.
Cabin chic, to everybody.
Glamping.
Okay.
To the rest of the party, this place probably seems awesome and a diamond in the rough kind of thing. To Heinrich, this is you'll take it, but oh.
But it's better than whatever barracks they built outside over there.
Kinda.
Better than
cooler.
the establishment in Wissenberg?
Not better than the governor's estate.
No.
But it's comfortable. It's cool in here. You're out of the heat and the humidity. It's just for Gerty and Gerty and Liliana, it's no problem. Gerty's pretty comfortable underground with low ceilings, but for the humans, you have to bend a lot. Sitting in the chairs isn't so bad. The chairs are small for you guys. Luckily, there's no Bruno-sized among us, or else he would not fit in a chair. They are halfling chairs, so you're both tall but thin, so you do fit in the chairs. It's a bit tight squeeze for Gerty.
Yes,
Heinrik would not sit in one of these chairs. He's going to sit on. He's going to squat. It's not going to be dignified to get in this chair.
No, probably not.
And he's not going to sit on the ground either.
You do see there are benches in the little hallway right before this room. He could kind of sit on a bench a little more comfortably if he wanted to.
Oh, yeah. If he can sit on a bench without looking ridiculous, then yes, he'll do it.
More ridiculous than squatting at a halfling-sized table.
Oh, no. I deleted everybody in accident.
Oh, we are dead.
Oh, we're back.
Come on.
TPK.
I hadn't replaced Alex's icon with a new one for some reason on this area. So, what are we at? Okay. A few other of the Southlands come in carrying trays of drinks and food, and you guys can all remove your fatigue conditions as you enjoy a meal, and you can ask Bob a bunch more questions next time. Join us episode 19 to see what happens in this Southling burrow.
Better believe we're trading recipes.
Yes.